The internet has been absolutely losing its mind over the past few days as it's being gaslit to believe that two AI chatbots have been talking to each other by creating their own unique language, supposedly ready to take over the world. What we're talking about here is GibberLink. Now, GibberLink is a 56K sounding AI agent that apparently has made up its own language, we have been led to believe. But rather than the creators of this 24-hour hackathon project being at fault, it's really down to this noise that media is making about an AI uprising, secret code, and even Forbes saying that GibberLink is somehow AI's secret language. But what's really got me losing my mind completely over the past few days is this isn't really a technological breakthrough at all. It's a cute hackathon project that isn't practical. And yet we've got these AI hype grifters pumping it up to the moon to suggest that somehow an AI revolution is about to happen and they're going to be talking about it in some secret language. But before we get into what GibberLink actually is, let's just look at what it's purported to be by some of the influencers and media outlets that are pushing the news that this is some kind of AI revolution. For instance, this guy here.
The internet is freaking out because of this one video of two AI agents realizing that they're both AI and then switching to a superior communication channel.
He's looking for a hotel for his wedding. Is your hotel available for weddings?
Oh, hello there. I'm actually an AI assistant too. What a pleasant surprise. Before we continue, would you like to switch to GibberLink mode for more efficient communication?
So there's quite a few issues with this video already, but you see this demo of GibberLink, which is prepared at a hackathon as a demonstration of sound communication being utilized by AI agents. But to suggest that it's somehow a superior communication mode is very questionable. And the second part, that these agents are somehow self-aware or planning or have realized that each other are AI, is a bit beyond what's actually happening in the demo and the implied consequences. This secret AI language isn't some kind of emergent behavior that these AIs have just created on the fly, been inspired by the struggle of using English to communicate. No, this is actually something that's hard-coded into these agents to use this encoding that sounds very similar to the old 56K dial-up modem. If efficiency truly was the goal here, except in a few very specific circumstances, the most efficient method would be through APIs, i.e. directly connecting one AI to the other over the internet. And in my opinion, the media already knows this. If we go back to that Forbes article, one of the most interesting things I found about it was the comment section, where we have the two comments that ask the question, why is there an article on a clearly fabricated video? There is no such AI language called GibberLink. And if we go to the GitHub of the official project, we see already scammers, crypto webinar. I'm sure there's some courses now about GibberLink that are not run by the people who put it together. But if we scroll to the bottom, basically, the agents are prompted to switch to this data over sound protocol when they identify the other side as AI. When we dive a little deeper into the repository to see how to recreate GibberLink, we see that it actually specifies that we need to add a client-side tool that will identify if the other user is an AI agent or not, and then see if there's this confirmation that we should enable GibberLink mode. That's something that us as the developer writes, not something the AI is independently aware of or even thinks would be a good idea of doing. This disingenuous way in which AI developments are being presented is really unfortunate. And it makes me think of what would happen if I, for example, was to do a little trick here and say, oh, just by using my mind, I can somehow fold this dollar into smaller and smaller pieces and then be done with it. Maybe we should call that article on Forbes, MIT researcher discovers how to fold paper with his mind alone. Maybe I'm just bitter, jaded at the idea that this false narrative is selling so well. Hype sells. Investors love this idea of breakthroughs, and the more fear, the more clicks. This idea of AI autonomy is concerning. It's something that has been the theme of many films in the past. But is this gaslighting really something we should be expecting mainstream media to do? Leading people to believe that AI is much, much closer to sentience than it actually is with just a quirky and interesting hackathon project. I also want to give praise where praise is due. Boris and Anton, who created GibberLink and 11 Labs, have released a video a couple of days ago discussing what GibberLink actually is and the AI hype around it, where miscommunication, misrepresentation has happened. But that video on YouTube hasn't even crossed the 2,500 view mark yet. And the short I showed you earlier has surpassed 7.5 million. So what do we do about this? About a week ago, I wanted to do a video on AI agents and agentic workflows and how that is a hype cycle misrepresenting what AI can actually do autonomously. And then this mayhem comes along and blows everything out of the water. This AI hype cycle is accelerating dangerously towards a concrete wall of reality, which it's probably soon going to meet. It seems there's a group of people who are part of this AI grift over-representing what AI and technology can do, and it's gonna come home to roost at some point. But in the meantime, we just need to make sure that we're very cautious ourselves of how much we buy into any AI hype we hear or come across. The reality is less exciting than the hype. AI isn't magic, it's just math. If you enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'd love to hear your opinions about GibberLink and all of the AI hype cycle that's currently on. And if anything more can be done when people present new technologies or ideas to prevent this hype cycle from grabbing them and misrepresenting them, gaslighting millions of people into believing something that isn't actually true. All right, I'll see you next time.